Hey everybody, happy new year, happy 2025. I hope you all have a great, New Year's Eve and have a great drink with your friends, with your family and etc. I hope you had a great day. But it's 2025 now. That means another review, of course, because life goes on. And today I'm doing a trade paperback review from DC Universe called Sideways. You probably saw it in my unboxing. And I read it yesterday. This is seven issues rolled into one. I have also a volume 2 here lying around. But this is the Age of New Heroes. Because during the Dark Knight's Metal event, I don't know much about it. I have a couple of books, but I'm not really into that, event because I wasn't buying comics anymore. But I was always interested in Sideways because after I read it, it confirms my suspicion that this could be DC's version of Peter Parker, and I think they did a very good job with it. It's been drawn by none other than my one of my favorite artists, Kenneth Rocafort, also known as Mythografia on X or social media. And so the artist here is Kenneth Rocafort, Robert Gill, Carmine Di Giandomenico. I hope I said that right. Writers are Dan Didio and Justin Jorman, Daniel Brown and John Roche, colorists, etc., etc. And it's like I said in my unboxing, it's probably the reason that I picked this up. Now, the Age of New Heroes was interesting. Before we go in all this spoiler territory, and there was a couple of new heroes being created by DC Comics, and one of them are the Silencer that I did a review on, complete 18 issues, and with an annual. Check that out if you want to know more. There are some others as well, like the Terrifics, the Immortal Man, Damage, because of the Brimstone, and a couple of others. And unfortunately, none of them are getting new chances, unlike a lot of other characters that I think they are getting overexposed that nobody wants to read, unfortunately. So I don't know why they don't do another Silencer book or a new Sideways book. Anyway, so a young hero is Derek. Derek he's strong and he has the power to teleport, making rifts, among other things. And he has a best friend, and the best friend is called Ernestine, Ernie for short, and her twin sister Emmeline, who is, she's basically a side character, and she doesn't know about Derek's powers. But these are two opposites. She's the geeky one, and she's the more socialite, fancy clothes, and she is also the one that drew or made this suit for Derek because he's a cosplayer and etc. You see this sewing machine here, and look at all this stuff around. He's more like a geek, and I like that. So this character is for young people very relatable. He's a high school student, and he's getting bullied there. And but he also has a very loving family. One of them anyway. His mother, and he's adopted, by the way, and his father, that adopted father, he's a loser in my opinion. But I think she is probably the most one of the most relatable, but also best characters in this book, because she loves her son very, very much. She shows that multiple times. She also is acting like a mother, which is good, telling him, hey, no, you cannot do that and all that stuff. But she's a cool character. But he is now thinking what happened. What happened is during the Dark Metal event, some kind of a mountain comes up in the city, and it emits some kind of a radiation, some energy, and he's being affected by that. He's falling through that mountain, and then he wakes up with powers, right? And he wants to, use that powers for clicks and likes on social media. I think that's probably the weakest, but it's fortunately not very prevalent in this book, because he's doing that for, to become famous, but it has consequences as always. And and then he is being chased. Look at this art, man. This art is all hand drawn, no Photoshop BS, in my opinion, or not that I can notice, but it's very cool. And there's a voice that wants to talk to him, and this guy is called Tempus Fugit, if I'm saying that correctly. He's some kind of a keeper of the realms, if you will, like the Watcher, except that the Watcher just watch. But he's more like a character that oversees intrusions when it comes to rifts and other dimensions, right? And he thinks that Derek is a threat to that because he is opening rifts into reality, right? And he's here to prevent that because everything needs to be in balance and in harmony. And he wants to kill him, but basically he is not really an enemy. He is basically a keeper of the time, if you will. So Derek escapes, but barely does that. He's seeing some stuff in the movie from, hey, if I try to grab on something, it slows my speed. But, he hurts himself really in the process. And his friend, Ernie, is cannot contact him, and he says, hey, Derek, is that you? And he's very hurt. But then we see something like this. So this is a danger that is in this book. And so Ernie decides to bring Derek to the hospital. But then his mom, very concerned, because Ernie just texted his mom. And you can see she's a great character, very loving, but also very strict, very worried about him. And she is also basically a very important member of the, let me go a little bit back here. To the Dark Star Science Publicity. That's some kind of a institution or her job. And she wants Derek to apply to that, like an internship. But, Derek has other problems, and, he basically is not doing he's not very responsible. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And we have some background stories about what happened. And as you can see, she's a very relatable character. And I believe the mother, Ernie, and Derek, he's also a likable character, also relatable. He's also, a goofy character. He has the heart in his right place, wants to help people. He's getting bullied on school, etc. And there are some cool villains here. Not all of them. There's one very lame villain. But this one is interesting. She is called Killspeed. And and she is here to basically, long story short, she needs medicine, and she has speed powers, and she comes from Central City, just like the Flash. She's been hit by this dark energy, right? And it got her powers. I wish she had a more like a real costume, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, she has silver chrome boots, dark legging, silver chrome eyes, hair, and a jacket. The colors really complement each other, so that's very nice. But the story is about this girl is that she has leukemia. She has some drugs. She got hit by lightning, so she's robbing the store for more medicine. But then, since her speed also, accelerated her metabolism, the cancer that she has spread through her body. Now she's dying. Sideways wants to help her, but then he says something wrong, and she just embraces the fact that she's going to die. And try to kill him. But then we see also a different power or use of his power, and it seems that the edges of his rift are pretty indestructible, so he can use it for offense and defense measures, like you can see here. So that is pretty cool. But then the cops come, and there is something happened to Speed Kill later that we don't see, but there's something happening to her. Well, I can show you, but I'm not going to do that. And then we have another villain, I believe is, what's his name? He can absorb powers. Let me check. Replicants, yes. So he wants to tackle on Replicant for clicks and likes, etc. And of course, it goes all wrong. There's also another hero, was once part of the Teen Titans, helps him. He's a cool looking villain, a little bit lame when it comes to power absorption, but the look is still cool. But there is also something happened at the company because her son got an interview, but he's busy doing superhero stuff. So her mother is being called forth by the boss here, and the boss is very interested in what Derek is doing, basically, because they are finding out that he has powers, dark matter powers, or dark metal powers, right? But she doesn't, of course, say that to the mother, and he said, "Hey, why don't you?" Basically, She wants to have a talk with Derek about the internship, right? But her mother gets emotional, because he's very caring about her son. But that is also a little bit here her downfall, quote unquote, because what I'm trying to say is that she's getting she's letting herself a little bit go about how she feels about her son instead of being strict business, like an employee. But she's pouring her heart out against this woman that has other interests. Also, his father is, I think he's a slacker. I mean, he may be a good father, but when Derek and his mother gets in an argument, he always nopes out. He says, "Well, no, this is between you and me," and that also explodes a little bit, because he is accusing him that he's not doing anything, being a father. So I wonder where that is going in the future issues. Oh yeah, Tempest Fugic wants to have his help because he's in trouble and he wants to train him. Speaking of this other company, we have a Professor Portafoy, who's basically an evil scientist. I think that's he is. He works together with this woman about the dark matter powers, etc. Then we have another villain. He's a very weak one. He's using the power of a troll, meaning on social media to rile up people, and by riling up people, he gets powers to getting strong, and it's a really weak character. All right, we go to basically Tempest Fugic explains to him what his role is in the universe and how Derek is maybe a factor in how stories will continue, when it comes to temporal rifts and the dangers that coming through, like the black goo that I showed you earlier. What's his name? I don't know. Showman, he calls himself. He's a loser, in my opinion. Probably the weakest character in this whole book. And her mom also finds out that he is sideways and that her company has a lot of files on him, and she wants to do something about it. But the tension between Derek and his mother is how do you say, flaring a little bit, because she wants to know what's happening to him, but she doesn't really, how do you say, confronts him that she knows that he is sideways, right? And he is just say, "Hey, nope, I don't want to have this conversation. I'm out of here," right? And like I said, he says, "No, this is between you two. I'm sitting this out." "That's right, Dad. You sit them all out." I like this little, arguments between families, and the mother trying to do the right thing, but she doesn't know how to approach that situation. She wants to tell him, but that, of course, he is being teleported away, right? But also something happens to her, something tragic, and I'm not going to spoil that, but I think, oh no, that's not good. So overall, I think this is a very good book. It's not perfect, especially when there was something that I didn't show you, I guess. Well, there is something with the Tempest Fugic. He is fighting that creature from another dimension, and I thought, here, and it seems that he's lost his arm. We didn't see it. We don't know what this creature is, except that it's come from the dark metal universe. And the fun fact is, he have the ability to take over. Tempest Fugic, the powers of Sideways to access, to jump across universes instead of small rifts in and then jumping from place to place. So he's way more powerful than he actually knows, and this is a showcase of that, which I like. But you know, this creature, where does it come from? How dangerous is it? How did you lose your arm? So it feels to me that some parts of the story is taking place in all these side books of the dark metal storyline that I don't have, and I'm not even sure if that's the case, because normally we would have some confirmation in the book from, hey, check out dark metal issue 4 to check out this particular part of the story. We don't have that. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. But overall, when it comes to pure art and some cool characters, and nice booty, by the way, good job, Kenneth. I think Sidewaves is a very fun character, and I wish we see a little bit more of him. Right, and the story continues in this one. It is thicker. It has way more story, of course, and what is this? Sorry, this is out of focus here. And other superheroes as well: Frankenstein, Mr. Miracle, Clarion, the Bulleteer, Zatanna, I guess. So this is all probably a big part of the overall storyline. So yeah, we're gonna find out. But overall, again, this is a very fun book. I think it's worth it to pick it up if you're interested in new characters. And this, like I said, this is a likable character. There's no BS that you see in modern comics anymore. So for a modern comic, I think this is a good one. Absolutely. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this character. Did you read it? Are you interested or not? Leave a comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.